other nations in this poverty-stricken region must struggle against. Sri Lanka has embarked on an ambitious development scheme to harness the waters of the nation's largest river and open up thousands of acres of arid land for settlement and cultivation. Mr. Armstrong was asked by the Sri Lankans to view this vast project now in the final stages of completion.
Sri Lanka is the only developing.
Later, he discussed Sri Lanka's development with President Junius Jayawardena.
I want to see that.
The President explained that in spite of spectacular progress, Sri Lanka is going through a time of trouble. Separatists, seeking their own state in the north, have engaged in several acts of terrorism. Hundreds have been killed and wounded, and the calm of this tropical island paradise has been shattered. The Sri Lankans have learned that material development of itself does not bring peace. Man can find a way to control the power of mighty rivers, but he cannot stop the tide of anger, resentment, and contention that flows from human hearts. In a lively press conference with Sri Lankan radio, TV, and newspaper reporters, Mr. Armstrong explained why the nation could not find peace.
Well, all our problems are caused by human nature. And human nature is essentially selfish. Now, I can explain those things. I can say that it comes from self-interest, from a spirit of competition, always from the point of view of the interest of oneself or one's party or one's race or one's religion or whatever one is a member of. But we're living in a competitive world. We're living in a world that is based fundamentally on the philosophy of get. And so we still do not have peace because people do not know the way to peace. The way to peace is having concern for your fellow man. The way to peace is love. The way to peace is cooperation and helping one another and having a loving concern for the good of other people. And that gets into human nature. Now, I cannot change human nature. I can talk about it and I can explain and I can give the reason. But every one of you must make up your own mind what you're going to do. I can't make up your mind for you. And that's the same with everybody else on earth. I can't make up the minds of other people. I can only make up my mind what I want to do. But I can explain the truth and the cause of wars and the way to world peace, and it will not come until mankind comes to have love for his neighbor. And today, man doesn't love his neighbor. Nation doesn't love other nations, they love their own nation. And so we have competition, and that leads to, often, to war, and individuals come to what you're having here right now, the kind of violence has come into terrorism. And terrorism comes in the same way as war, from a wrong attitude of mind, a wrong desire of just selfishness and of opposition toward other people and wanting to use force of some kind to have your own way against other people. I don't have a magic wand. I can't wave a magic wand and just say the world has peace. You can't bring it about that way. I have to look at the facts as they are. And the facts are human nature.
But I feel what you have just said is only philosophy and does not offer any solution to our problems. How will that produce peace now?
It won't produce peace now. I'm just telling you the facts that what will produce peace. And I say to you that we human beings are not going to produce peace. I think that all religions, at least, know that there is a higher power. Many of them don't know what that higher power is. They don't have it defined, perhaps, because they don't know. But there is a higher power, and that higher power is going to have to come and bring us peace. We're not going to bring peace, but the great Creator, God, is going to have to intervene and bring us peace if he has to force it upon us. And that's the way peace is finally going to come.
As for Sri Lanka, we have prayed to God to solve our ethnic problem. But I don't think even God can promote peace in this country.
I say to you that God could intervene right now. But that is not his will to do that, and he is not, I can tell you that, he is not going to intervene right now. He's going to let us learn some lessons. Human beings do not know that they should love their fellow man. And so we go about loving our own selves instead of our fellow man. And God is going to let us punish ourselves and bring about wars and kill so many people, it will come to the place where we would destroy every man, woman, and child on the face of the earth. The weapons of mass destruction now exist. The United States has them, the Soviet Union has them, France has them, China has them. Other nations are beginning to have nuclear weapons. And a nuclear war could erase all human life from this earth. And conditions are going to come, and men are going to go on fighting one another, and men are going to go on, I can't change their minds, and no other man can change their minds, and men are going to have to learn that lesson. They're going to come to the place where they would destroy the last man and woman and child on earth. Then the Supreme God is going to intervene before that happens. And he is not going to intervene until we learn our lesson. Humanity won't learn. I can tell you the way to peace, but you won't believe me. You men right here won't believe me. The world won't believe me. And I can't bring peace unless you would believe me, and you won't. I'm speaking very plainly. I represent that higher power. And I know what he proposes. And I know what he is going to do. And he won't do it until we have punished ourselves to the place where we're willing to submit to him. The trouble is, neither side in this problem that you're having here right now is willing to submit to that higher power. And as long as you won't, you're going to fight and have trouble. And we're going to have to come to the place where we have to rely on him to do it for us.
In Colombo, the capital city, Mr. Armstrong explained the purpose of the Ambassador Foundation to Sri Lankan Prime Minister Ranasinghe Premadasa.
I'm sure you understand that the Ambassador Foundation is not religious.
I do.
It's neither political nor religious. It's separate. It is supported by the church.
Yes.
But it is not religious in itself at all. And even the church is not proselyting and is not seeking members. And so we have nothing to gain. But perhaps we may have something to give.
Right, right. And the more you give, you gain.
That's right. Well, as has been said, it's more blessed to give than to receive.
That is so.
And I find that is actually true.
If you endeavor to gain, you won't get anything.
I think that's the basis of the trouble in the world.
Quite.
The people in the world are all trying to gain and to get,
greed.
and not to share or